Hi, Jenni here. Happy Pride Month, happy June, happy summer. Yeah, happy Pride Month from this bisexual lady. I do want to say especially happy Pride Month towards the trans community. It is absolutely horrifying how US and UK governments are suppressing trans human rights. I just want you to know that you have my support and we will fight for you, okay? Okay, so happy Pride to everyone celebrating. Remember to always read LGBTQ plus books, not just during Pride, and remember to keep your support towards the LGBTQ plus community inclusive, say no to pink washing, and yeah, have a happy Pride Month. Okay, so it's officially summer, and I don't usually make like a definite list of these books that I must read during a season. But I do have a few lined up. I have a couple library books, couple owned books, some books on Libby and e-library. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'll start by sharing the books that I own that I want to read this summer. The first one being Persuasion by Jane Austen. I think this is now my fourth time reading Persuasion, but this is a brand new Finnish translation by Kersti Juva. Kersti Juva is a notable Finnish translator. She translated The Lord of the Rings. That's a notable achievement, translating The Lord of the Rings, and she has done now a few of these Jane Austen retranslations. So far this has been really good. I love my Anne Elliot so much. Yeah, I love it. I haven't read too much of it, but good enough amount so far. Then I have a book that is a recent purchase, Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. This was on social media everywhere a few years ago, and I didn't see it at a local bookstore or anywhere. But now that I did, I was like, you know what? Let's see what this is about. This is about Felix Love, who is black, queer, and transgender, and he's trying to get his own happily ever after. But when an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages, he comes up with a plan for revenge. This is a YA book, if I've understood correctly. I don't really read YA anymore. I feel like I've grown out of it, but this really interests me, this topic, and let's see what type of character Felix is. I don't really read that much in Finnish. I've started reading more in the past few years, but still I mainly read in English. But I went to the library recently and I saw a few books that are translated into Finnish or are in Finnish that I was like, you know what, let's give these a shot. The first one is Zelda Fitzgerald's Viimeinen and Valssi. There's no original name for it. I'll put it up in post. It's translated by Tuomas Kilpi, and this is basically based on Zelda and F. Scott Fitzgerald's marriage. It's about a young woman who gets married to a talented artist and then has to give up her career as a ballet dancer. First of all, the plot really interests me, but I also wanted to borrow this because it's so important to highlight Zelda Fitzgerald and like her impact on her own. The back cover says Zelda Fitzgerald is remembered nowadays best as F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, but she was also a capable writer. And I think that's such a demeaning, backhanded way of calling her a good author. So I wanted to support her work. Next up is a book in Finnish. Viona Elone, Tulit luokseni kutsumatta, translates to You Came to Me Without Invite. This is about a young woman who's 24 and is a single mom because her child's father is in prison, but then he gets released and wants to meet her. I hadn't heard of this before, but based on the back cover, I thought it would be interesting, and it's not very long either. So let's see how it is. Then I have Akvaike Emesi's Hölmö Rakkaus in Finnish. The original title is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, which is so astonishing to me because the Finnish translation is Stupid Love. It's translated by Kaisa Kattelus, and it's about Faye Adekola, who lost the love of their life 5 years ago and they want to fall in love again. I did begin this a little bit, read few pages. It's a bit different from what I usually read, but I do want to read it, so let's see how it is. And then I went on Libby and searched books in English in the historical fiction genre. It's my favorite genre, and Libby offers a pretty good selection of historical fiction books. Again, I'm not sure if I will read all of these, but I thought I would share some that I have marked as being interested in. So the first one is Little Gods by Meng Jin. On the 9th of June 4th, a woman gives birth in a Beijing hospital alone. Thus begins the unraveling of Su Lan, a brilliant physicist who, until this moment, has successfully erased her past, fighting what she calls the mind's arrow of time. When Su Lan dies unexpectedly 17 years later, it's her daughter Leah who inherits the silences and contradictions of her life. Leah, who grew up in America, takes her mother's ashes to China, to her an unknown country. Oh, that sounds so good. I love family stories, mother-daughter stories, historical fiction. So yeah, sounds amazing. Then I have Silver Sparrow by Tayari Jones. It's set in a middle-class neighborhood in Atlanta in the 1980s. The novel revolves around James Witherspoon's two families, the public one and the secret one. And when the daughters from each family meet and form a friendship, only one of them knows that they are sisters. It's a relationship destined to explode. Again, another family story. I'm really excited to read. I haven't read this type of family story before, so it's very exciting and refreshing. And based on the little bit that I read from the beginning, it seems really good. Then I have The Summer Before the War by Helen Simonson. It is late summer in East Essex 1914. Amidst the season's splendor, fiercely independent Beatrice Nash arrives in the coastal town of Rye to fill a teaching position at the local grammar school. There she is taken under the wing of formidable matriarch Agatha Kent, who, along with her charming nephews, tries her best to welcome Beatrice to a place that remains stubbornly resistant to the idea of female teachers. But just as Beatrice comes alive to the beauty of the Sussex landscape and the colorful characters that populate Rye, the perfect summer is about to end. For the unimaginable is coming, and soon the limits of progress, the old ways, will be tested as this small town goes to war. This interests me because one, I am a teacher myself, and I love reading about teacher characters. And two, I feel like a lot of war history fiction bases around World War II. I have a few in my shelf as well. So to have one that's focused on World War I is very refreshing and interesting. And then one that I'm waiting for from eLibrary is Genocide Bad by Sim Kern. Sim Kern became known through their short-form video contents online where they dismantle Zionist beliefs and go into the history of Palestine and Jewish people and how it reflects today. And I have really enjoyed their content. So when I heard that they would be writing a non-fiction book and it's published by a Palestinian publishing company, a small one, I was really excited. And then I couldn't get it shipped to Finland, at least when I first checked. So when I saw it available at eLibrary, I was like, of course, I'm still waiting for the book. I'm sixth in line. It will be interesting to read because I would like to say that I am very educated in the history of Palestine and everything that has happened. But it will be interesting to see if I learn something new. So the eLibrary says that part activist memoir, part crash course in Jewish and Palestinian history, Genocide Bad dismantles Zionist propaganda in 10 unapologetic essays. Drawing connections between biblical promises and exploding pagers, medieval dress codes and modern-day apartheid, Kern sketches a sweeping history of imperialism with their characteristic blend of far-ranging research, pop culture insights, and scathing humor. Kern, a former teacher, journalist, novelist, and book influencer, gained international recognition as an anti-Zionist Jewish activist in the days after October 7, 2023, and so on. I am really excited to read this one as well. But like I said in the beginning, I will not be like, oh, I must read all of these during this summer. No, because I don't really like restricting myself when it comes to reading and having like a specific book TBR. So I'm pretty sure I will read something from my shelves that I haven't read yet. What's on your summer TBR list if you have one? What would you like to read during this summer? Any summer plans? Let me know in the comments below. Once again, happy Pride Month. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!